Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we have a Rock-Ola remote control. Now these remote controls are cost a fortune. Alright, so £130 for a brand new one, plus delivery. Many times it's coming from the States, so yep, I understand why the customers wanted to fix it. Now it's mostly working with a new battery. Most of the buttons do the things. Sometimes you have to press a little bit more or in different angle and they start working, but not every time. Now if you have any like this. So if you have any doubt, you just use a camera and you can see the infrared light. Some camera showing a little bit better, some of them is not, but you can see something. Alright, so basically I try to eliminate where is the issue, and these three buttons is the most troubling, but I'm gonna take care of the rest. Now many times we just have dirty contacts on these, but sometimes the pads are wear off, so in that case we have to replace them. All right, so without further ado, let's take this apart. By the way, this is South London Repair. We are based in South London, as the company name it says, in Addiscombe. We have a high street shop. If you have something, you can come in. I pack away the capacitors from the previous client, and let's see what we can do here. Alright, so first we are looking for screws, but if we can't see anything, then we try to pry open the plastic clips on the side. Usually we have a few. Now, if it's made less than 15 years, then you are in luck. They probably very easy to open it. If it's more than 15 years old, then in my experience, they're gonna break off like cookie crumbles. So yeah, let's hope this one is a younger version. And it looks it is, or it's a better plastic, I don't know. So basically you're just going around. Many times you can't even open a side at the first time, but you lose it up even if you can't see, and you just go for a second round and a third round, and slowly it's gonna be opening up. Now many times if it's some dirt there or some liquid, you know, like it was some coffee or something, that one is make get a little bit more stickier. All right, what we are inside, we try to remove the PCB. This video is not supported by PCB, by the way. All right, so let's see what we have. Okay, so these are the contact pads on the PCB. They basically, it's like sometimes you just can see gold plates. That's the best. All right, so those are never wear off, but these are can wear off or can be dirty. Now how it looks like, so I try to zoom in. It's like a rubbery thing, but it's conductive, and they painted on the top of the real PCB conduction point, and then you can see some oily residue on those, or dirt or something between these contacts. then that's not good. All right, so that white residue, that's not good. I can see some oily residue. That one is coming because the rubber with the time is gonna be going through molecular destruction, and basically it came back as oil because this is what it was made of. So first I'm just using a dry cotton pad to try to clean up the big particles and also any foreign object, foreign dirt, what is can go there. Now this is one side of the contacts, but is an important side. You don't want to rubber really hard because in that case you take off this rubber surface and you're gonna be in trouble. You can repaint them, you can buy these things, and but obviously in that case you need some stencil and you can paint it, and after you let it dry and hopefully it's gonna work. I tried, I failed, but maybe I used the wrong material, I don't know. All right. Also, another thing, what many times I see, on the bottom you can see that IC, which is basically all the lines are connected to it, like a grid. That one many times is rusty. Yeah, so something is coming off, and it's not the rubber, trust me. Now, obviously, this part is very dirty, so I'm gonna take care of it, but that's not affecting functionality. Now this side, on the other hand, yeah. So these are the buttons what you press. And one side is dirty, alright, and the other side, usually that's where we have this rubber pads what wear off. So this is how it's going in. And basically try to keep off the liquid, dirt, and everything else from the PCB. So on the plastic side you can see some oily residue inside, so yeah, we have to wash that one. Okay, so with these pads what you do resistance measure. What we are looking, so you put the two pin next to each other, and we're looking for some lower resistance. Yeah, so if it's mega ohm, then not good. But as long you are under a kilo ohm, it should be fine, to be honest. When it's wearing off and it's still working, I have seen 2 kilo ohms resistance, but that was hard to use, but that was the end. So 0.6, that's absolutely good. Okay, that one. No, it's dropping down. Okay, so these rubber pads, actually it looks all right. So I was concentrating the pads which was not working. Now, as you can see some glue under these layers, and so somebody put already a second layer on this one. So the original was weared off and they glued a second one. You can buy these replacement pads in different sizes, and you just glue on the top of the old one when it's wear off, and yep, you're good. Bob is your uncle. So in this case, not that's the problem. It's dirty, yeah. So we have to clean it up. But as long you see these dots, these black dots, is not weared off. When it's gonna be a smooth surface, you have to replace them. All right. If sometimes it's I have this JVC boombox. I didn't finish the video about that one, but in that case I put the new layer on top of it, and after, unfortunately, I couldn't press the buttons, so I had not doesn't had enough space. In that case, you have to cut back the top layer, which is a very tricky thing, and after stick the new layer on the top. That's not easy. If that one is your first time, I wouldn't recommend to do it yourself, but if you did it before, then like just glue it and everything, then yeah, why not? So just the cutting part, that one can be trickier. All right, so I just cleaned up at the moment, and I think it should be fine, be honest. But before we going any further, we're gonna check this. Actually, it's very funny. You see the buttons? Some of them is like they cut it off from the top, so they had a full spread of buttons, and because on the remote controls, the case what they designed, it was not everywhere a button. They just cut it off with a blade, with hand. You can see it. Yeah, it's a funny thing, but I think this Rock-Ola, rock and roll with whatever. These remote controls, basically, they are made in small batches, so it's like a not small, but like a medium family business. So they did what they have to do to achieve these things inside the house and not order the things from China, which I really appreciate, be honest. And they find a solution, so wow. These days we probably just print a case from with a 3D printer, and this is how we make it, but yeah, it's all right. Now I try to power up this one with power supply, because obviously the battery department is in parts now. So I try to hook up these crocodile clips and give some power, and we can do some tests. If I put it well together, it's only need, when you set up this power supply, you only need what 3 volts and 3.2 and 100 milliampere. That one can do the trick. Now unfortunately my hand is very bright, so it's harder to see the infrared light, although that one is clear, so we don't have this darker filter in front of it, but yeah, it's working. So even the funny buttons are working now, even just after a little clean. Sometimes these things, all these need is just a little clean. Now I don't want to give back the customers like in this state, so it looks ugly, isn't it? So we're gonna clean up a little bit. Also, whatever dirt you can see on the top one and on the buttons, that one will go back. All right, so the more you can clean up, the less will find the way back. So it's always a good idea. Also, it looks like we have to do some maintenance on the device itself once I found the time. By the way, I'm looking for apprentice, so if somebody want to learn how to fix things, you are welcome to the shop. No, you're not getting any money. The beginning, first, you have to make enough to make it work for the company, and yeah, after, absolutely. But at the moment, I'm happy to take some apprentice and teach you how to do it, but for that one you have to show up at least one day at weekdays every week, because otherwise it's just not worth. All right, so little normal cleaner, nothing fancy. I'm using this Apple sentence cleaner from Cope. They do the job. It's not damaging the material. It's give a nice sense, smell nice, and also it's removed the dirt very nicely. So it's really good job. I'm using for this all these plastic things what we go through. Even the customers' notebooks, because it looks better, you know, when you get back and it doesn't look like which survived lunch at school time, you know. And a little pride in your work, you know, is never a problem, isn't it? I mean, when I have a time. Sometimes we are in rush. In that case, unfortunately, I forget to clean up nicely. Especially if you just clean for a Windows install or data backup or something. And, you know, not like complete cleaning job or upgrades or something. Alright, so you just clean it up nicely. You go through with a, what is this, microfiber clothes. And after you let it dry, you don't want to put together when it's wet, and try to go through all the plastic parts. Even the battery compartment, obviously. With that one you want to be gentler, because that clip can break off easily, and after you have to design and 3D print a special one, which is a pain. Alright, buttons. Now, you take off the big chunks with a brush, and the best if you put on a clothes. So the clothes is gonna help when you spray some liquid. There's no holes on this one, so it's not gonna go down on the middle, but it's gonna go down on the side. Now this liquid is very gentle, so it's not like vinegar based or something, but it can wear off these rubber pads, and we don't want that. So this is why the cloth is try to protect from the extra liquid. And after you just using a relatively clean toothbrush, I always buying them on sale in the Coop next to us, and they do a good job. We have like proper brush for cleaning, but let's say the quality is very it's who was in the line in the factory, you know, Chong or Ching or Kong, and some of them is doing a very good job, some of them is with toothbrush, you know, Colgate, you can't be disappointed, isn't it? It always looks the same. For very gentle jobs, I'm buying the children toothbrush. They are so soft, you know, it's definitely it's not gonna scratch anything, even if you really push against it. So yeah, just an idea if you do something similar. Alright, so that looks much better. Now take a look how it looks in the case. When you put together, be careful with the battery compartment. The little springs is going to the right place. It's have a little hole in the plastic case. If you push in the wrong place, then yeah, it's just gonna bend and break and whatever. Alright, so these are our troubled buttons, and they are working much better. And also you can tell actually the light is a little bit stronger now, because it's have a good conduit surface, so more power is going through. That was fun. See you next time. Leave a comment, visit us. Bye.